sound check.
Good,
Yeah, man.
It's always good to do a sound check. I need to turn Alan up again now.
Turn my camera off.
Bye, Al.
Bye.
Oh, we all need to turn the cameras off, don't we?
We don't have to, but we do.
I'll
Well, we
turn mine
do.
off in a minute. Oh,
I was
come
saying,
in.
I was saying to Dan, I was going to start the show with a 1 minute silence in memory of Dan Palmer, who's passed away.
I'm very excited.
We're going to start one with a minute silence for Glasgow in the league title.
Yeah.
Worst league champions ever.
At least league champions at bare minimum should be making the playoffs for next year.
I don't think they're any better for having Ipswich at reserve either, to be honest. I'd rather have had James Pearson now.
I think we're stronger about it.
You've got to be kidding. Have you seen how he's been performing?
Yeah, but that's because he's been at number 4.
Yeah, but he ain't looked like scoring even against reserves much.
Should have just kept Taze Piper.
Scunny will have him next year anyway.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and what other creatures there may be out there in the world. Welcome to tonight's Watch Along. It is the 2024 Premiership Knockout Cup final. It is the second leg between the Ipswich Witches and the Sheffield Tigers. The Tigers bringing a 20-point lead to Foxhall this evening, after a very, very dominant display at Alwerton on Monday. As ever, I am world famous Scunny Dan, Redcar Dan, Sheffield Dan, Ipswich Dan, whatever team you want to call me, that's not Glasgow Dan. And I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts. As always, how are we this evening?
Yeah, we're all good. Thankfully, you're alive after the demon headache earlier and we didn't have to resort to Alan. So that's always a bonus.
Yeah, sorry about
that. You had me worried.
But yeah, there is also another meeting on tonight. Leicester versus the Stars of Lynn Kings, and some chap called Alan's going to be keeping an eye out for them scores.
Should we bring Alan in to quickly run through them teams now, and then we can just fully focus on this meeting until we get underway?
Go on then.
So, your teams for Leicester versus Kings Lynn, starting with the home side, the Leicester Lions. They line up with Max Frick at number 1. It's Richard Lawson at number 2, Sam Masters at number 3, Luke Becker at number 4, Ryan Douglas rides at number 5, Craig Cook at number 6, and the guest at number 7 is Joe Thompson, who is the Rising Star guest tonight. And for the Kings Lynn, patched up Kings Lynn side, at number 1 is the bomber, Chris Harris. At number 2 is Anders Rowe. At number 3 is Niels Christian Everson. At number 4 is the second of their guests tonight, Norik Bladorn. At number 5 is Dan's friend, not yours, Jan Kovac. And at number 6, his other friend, the third guest for the Kings Lynn Stars, Simon Lambert. And at number 7 is Lewis Kerr.
Sponsored by D&D Media is old Simon Lambert.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So 6 point aggregate between the two sides, boys. What are we thinking for this one?
I'll be brutally honest, nobody cares, do they? Leicester need to stay fit. Kings Lynn want to end with a win. It's a nothing meeting.
Wow.
It is. Leicester want to stay fit for the playoffs. Kings Lynn, it's their last meeting of the season. There's nothing. It doesn't impact league positions. It doesn't. It's not a cup fight. It's just there.
It exists so Leicester don't have to pay a £20,000 fine.
Yeah, that.
Fair enough.
We'll bring Mr. Allen back in at intervals through the night. Palmer, do you want to run us through the team lineups for this one, and then we'll have a quick look at what happened in the first leg.
Want me to do both or just one team?
If you do Ipswich, I'll do Sheffield. Why not?
Okay then. So for the Ipswich Riches, their rising star. At number 7, that is Daniel Thompson. At number 6, the guest for the injured Jordan Jenkins, that's James Pearson from some Ouija club up north, something like that. At number 5, one himself, that's Danny King. At number 4, the other guest, Sir Thomas Brennan. Keenan Rue rides at number 3. My Friend Not Yours, Adam Ellis goes at 2. And at number 1 is rider replacement for Jason Doyle.
Do you want to do a quick man to watch, Palmer, for that one?
Tom Brennan. He was very consistent for the Witches at Sheffield on Monday, and he's very good round Ipswich, and he will probably be looking for a 10+ personal score.
I wholeheartedly agree. Tom Brennan, he was there last Thursday with the Brummies and only dropped 1 point to an opposition rider, scoring paid 17 of a possible 18. So I think riding for the home team tonight as well, I think he'll be solid enough and do a solid job for Mr. Saivudanov. For the Sheffield Tigers, who bring a 20-point lead into this meeting. Their rising star at number 7 returning to action this week, Dan Gilks. At number 6 is Jason Edwards. Number 5 is rider replacement for the injured Ty Wolfenden, who has now confirmed his season is over. At number 4, arguably the most informed man in British Speedway at the moment, Josh Pickering. Chris Holder goes at number 3. The skipper Carl Howarth at 2, and Jack Holder at number 1. Palmer, your man to watch for Sheffield.
Probably a predictable one, this, but I'm going to go for Josh Pickering. As you mentioned, he's in the form of his life at the minute. Probably the man in form in the whole of British Speedway so far this season. And he was absolutely sublime on Monday night. You could sort of tell with his body language in the pits that nobody was touching him. So, yeah, pick off for me, Mush.
This is really boring. I've gone for the same as well for the exact same reasons. He's just high on confidence. He's riding with almost a swagger that you haven't seen from him before, but he's probably riding the best I think he's ever raced.
Oh, it's hard to disagree with that, sir.
So we'll just have a quick glance over Monday's meeting. Palmer, do you want to run us through what happened at Sheffield on Monday, being as you were there?
Sheffield turned up, Ipswich kind of didn't. That's probably the best way to describe it. Jack Holder, he wasn't just dominating races, he wasn't just winning races, sorry, he was dominating races. As soon as, he checked out the second bend, riders were just about to come into the first bend, he was that quick. And it was almost the same with Pico. One heat winner all night for Ipswich tells you the story, and some may say Ipswich was lucky to get to 35.
Although Vauxhall is a different kettle of fish to the big wide open spaces of Arlington, so it could, they're more than capable of pulling this back. Ipswich, if they were at full strength, obviously already missing Emil and Doyley, and then Danny King crashed last night, so he's not 100%, and obviously missing Jordan Jenkins as well, and James Pearson I don't think has ever raced at Ipswich, so it's going to be difficult.
Bold statement here. If Ipswich was at full strength,
They could overturn this.
there would be no big Sheffield League coming into this. I don't even think there would be a Sheffield League coming into it. And it's I do feel sorry for Ipswich. They've put a lot of investment into the team this season, and to lose two of the best riders in the world is quite demoralising for the Witches.
And it will be interesting to see how they bounce back from this. Obviously, as you've just said, losing two of the best riders in the world, the most exciting 1 and 5 pairing, I think, in British Speedway. They'll either fold and buckle under this, or it'll motivate them even more for next year.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't obviously quite know if he's going to be back for Ipswich next week, but I know Emil Safurtinov's been declared fit to ride for Torren on Sunday. Obviously, hopefully he can get through that and rejoin Ipswich to give them a bit of a confidence booster going into the playoffs next week.
Oh yeah, I personally think Torren will probably wrap him in cotton wool now, and I don't think we'll see Safurtinov back in British Speedway for the rest of this year.
But it's one of them. We'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, as we watch on the screen, the riders getting ready. There's no real pressure on Sheffield tonight. No silly mistakes. Ipswich need to be ruthless. They need to be hard. They need to attack. Sheffield just need to defend. No silly moves. No dives or anything like that. Just shared races. Maybe a 4-2 here or there. See that through. They'll be laughing.
Danny King's miraculously recovered from having the limp last night at Oxford.
Almost as if he was faking it, weren't it? Because Oxford were on a 5-1.
Almost like but yeah, Danny King is a man that needs to step up massively tonight. He's not been in the best of form, and you look at the Ipswich social media, and a lot of their supporters are sort of trying to convince management to let Danny King go elsewhere in 2025.
And he has been a staple of Ipswich for some years, but he's he spent a fair amount of time this year injured, and when he has been available, he's not been fantastic.
He's very much becoming an older, bolder Josh Hawty. That's
Just
the best way to. Well, it's not even a one-track pony because he's not even that great around Ipswich.
No.
Whereas obviously Hawty was very good around his home track at Scunthorpe. So it's, he's just turning up, getting probably 5 or 6 points, and that's about it. And when we heat leader and captain, that's you're expecting at minimum of double that, really.
Yeah, and Danny King's a genuinely nice fella. He'll always stop and have a chat, but being a nice fella's not scoring the points, is it? You're not going to miss James Pearson, bright pink bike,
absolutely not.
Aussie Kevlar. Has he got a gum shield in?
Probably.
Looks like he's got a gum shield in. Thank the Lord he's not got them stupid Glasgow bike covers on.
I think Glasgow was sensible enough to sack him if he turned up with those on.
I do like James Pearson. Obviously, he's an asset of Bellevue, but we've seen him race at Birmingham for a couple of seasons. Started his career at Birmingham. Was sacked halfway through last season, but really nice fella, nice kid. Obviously, we enjoyed a good couple of hours in the boozer with him, and he was just a vibe. He's a proper nice kid and chilled out, like all the Aussies really seem to be.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that was some night.
We've told this story a few times, and it never gets boring to tell.
It never gets boring. It never gets old.
No, brilliant. Brilliant.
I think watching the red car meeting the day after, just praying that we didn't get shot through all the gun holes in the wall.
Yeah, that was a good night, that.
That was certainly something, and yeah.
So we've got a couple of minutes until the parade, which I'm reliably informed, although tracks say it's tapes up at 7:30, it's usually parade start at 7:30.
Yeah, Ipswich is one of them. It's parade at 7:30, heat one at 7:45.
Yeah.
Because they like to make us wait.
Yeah. See, it's slightly different at the old Perry Bar of the Brumays, where parade is at 7:23 on the nose.
Ipswich is just like how... Not bad going, that. Ipswich is just how Sheffield used to be. They used to have the parade at 7:30, start at 7:45, but since obviously the Bateses have been involved, it started at 7:30.
A cheeky good evening to Mr. Daniel Winchester, who's just texted me to say he's watching because he's got nothing better to do on his Thursday evening. What a fella.
Evening, Mr. Winchester. I mean, you could splurge 13 quid out to buy the stream, watch it on mute, and listen to us.
But we are on a delay, so you may as well just listen to us. We'll
Well, you
talk
may
you
as
through
well.
it. There's not ever much
Yeah.
excitement at Ipswich, let's be honest.
Well, that's quite sad thing to know with me going there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but you're not going for the Speedway, you're going to catch up with friends.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Yeah. We've got
Have
2
you ever
people
been to
watching. No, never been. I have to go. I know you're going down before you meet up with us on our holidays next year. I might have to come down for that evening.
That is the plan, and I've only ever been to Ipswich once, and this was back in 2012. It was a league meeting. We'd Scunthorpe won the meeting, heat 15 comes, Josh Orty and Nick Morris destroy the back straight fence.
Ooh.
Rumour has it that fence is still standing. Them riders aren't.
That push off, that parade is just a little bit of a mess in it. Everyone's everywhere.
There's bodies everywhere. As legend Mick Foley once said on an advert.
Do you want to do the old shout out for anyone in the comments? You know, your famous line.
Yeah, anybody that's watching us, please send some comments in. We will read them out. We don't bite unless you have cake. And trust me,
warm cake, chocolate fudge cake or something this time of year. That's getting a little bit nippy out.
You know what is absolutely gorgeous this time of year? And don't knock this till you've tried it.
Oh god, it's going to be one of these strange combinations.
Coffee cake with a bit of squirty cream on the top.
Don't like coffee, so that rules that out for me.
But Tom Brennan's race suit with his race jacket on almost looks like an Ipswich suit.
He's got his Cardiff Grand Prix Kevlars on.
That makes sense.
He's got his black and flow yellow anyway, so it does make sense.
It just it's a natural fit.
Yeah. A couple of these riders we watched last night, obviously not on a watch along, but Jason Edwards, Danny King, Dan Gilks, we saw at Oxford.
Yeah, that we did, and that was entertainment-wise, it wasn't the best meeting we've seen at Oxford this year.
I've seen worse there, but I was talking to Hutty, one of the track guys, about it, and he was like, they tried to put water in, it just was not having it, and it didn't really create a line until around heat 11 or 12, which ironically is the part where Redcar closed the gap a little bit.
Was that genuine actual water or artificial water? Asking on behalf of a friend.
Would that friend have white long hair? Should we quickly bring Alan in for a Gates from Leicester if there has been any, because there's not a fat lot happening here yet.
We may as well bring the fat lad in, aren't we?
Which one of us?
Well, I can tell you there has been Gates at Leicester, and Kings Lynn fans will be happy with this. They won the coin toss. I don't think they're going to win tonight. And I've taken Gates 1 and 3 in heat number 1.
Alan throwing shade at Kings Lynn. Just whatever you do,
very exciting.
Do not throw shade at a certain team based down south on a very small track. If Mr. Winchester is watching, he will not be happy with you.
But
Hi, Mr. Winchester!
Not the worst track in the country. Oh, did I say that out loud? I do apologise.
We need all sorts of shapes and size tracks, I suppose, to make British Speedway stand out.
Sod it, let's ride on triangles.
I do want to go to Plymouth to see, because we've watched a couple of Plymouth meetings and we have gave it a bad rap. it might be different when you're there. I do really want to go down and try it, see what it's like there, and it's another track to check off the list, I suppose.
If it's anything like it was back in the day, it wasn't in the best of shape. Well, the facilities wasn't the best. The stands that was on the back straight has now been obviously replaced by this NHS stand thing that they've got, and apparently they charge you to sit in it.
Alan will be watching James Pearson closely to make sure he doesn't have a cheeky crash or anything, with Glasgow having meetings tomorrow and Sunday, needing to win them both and take the aggregate point from both if Workington do go and beat Plymouth on Saturday. So essentially, if Glasgow lose tomorrow night, Edinburgh could put Glasgow out of the playoffs mathematically, which would be a brilliant result for the Monarchs.
Oh, it would. I am, to be honest. I know, obviously, I'm buying the Redcar stream tomorrow because I owe you it. But I am half tempted as well to buy the Edinburgh stream.
See what the result is. See what if there's any racing on tuck dates, and then decide from there what we do.
If it's an Edinburgh win, then I'll probably just buy it to laugh at Alan
And Cammy Brown.
and him.
And the plan, touch wood, if everything goes to plan, is to do a watch along on Sunday to Glasgow and Oxford, which is a 5 o'clock start at Ashfield.
Yeah, that it is. Poor people of Ashfield having to be relieved of their church-going duties.
And Sunday roast.
And Sunday dinner. Mind you, I don't know if they have it up in Scotland. I mean, look at Al, they're a bit weird up there.
Oh, Palmer. Have we got a gate toss from here yet? Because updates is really slow.
I haven't seen one.
No.
Can I just jump in? They did actually do it they did it on the stream.
What was the gates? As
Oh,
we
did
know,
they?
are
And I'm
going late.
sure.
Oh wow, Alan
And I'm
doesn't know
sure-
either.
No, hang on. I'm pretty
Hang on.
sure. I am pretty sure Danny King took gates 1 and 3.
Let's have a look on T.
From Cardiff to Wroclaw
Could
over
be
the
wrong.
last couple of weeks. Well, one of them that completed the mission, 1,000 miles.
Ipswich are on 1 and 3. Yeah,
Oh, much.
I think.
Hey.
According
Is
to
that
the
Jason Crump currently being interviewed?
no, that doesn't look
Who's
like Mr.
that?
Crump. He's had a drastic weight loss, if it is, and he's de-aged about 20 years.
Not all heroes wear capes.
James Capes.
What a legend.
What a guy. What a man.
So,
Updates is
currently on the,
really slow.
Currently on the British Speedway Network stream, Bartosz Blair is currently interviewing an old man.
I wouldn't say it was old. Oh, and this is why we're being delayed. This is the best action these lot will see all night.
I should hope that's the only action to see all night. They are only children.
I'm guessing that's the local Cycle Speedway team. They're definitely Cycle Speedway bikes with the half moon style handlebars.
And it looks like they've won a couple of shields, so it's nice for Ipswich to win something in Speedway if it's not motorcycle Speedway.
Our pal Mr. Winchester will be able to tell us about this. He does Cycle Speedway. Come
Well,
on,
if it gets him out of the house.
come on, Bartek, shut up and let us get on with it. And the other plan next Wednesday, Palmer. Do you want to educate the whole 3 people who are watching on our plans for that?
So next Wednesday is quite historic for us, as well as BSN, as they are streaming both Championship playoff meetings. Poole versus Workington or Glasgow. We're not ruling Glasgow out. Well, I am, but we can't rule them out just yet. As well as Oxford versus Scunthorpe. So 30 heats being brought to you live with us via Poole/Oxford's radio. And, oh, that man's got a very big shield in his hands.
Yes.
Passes for that double-header stream can be bought from BSN at a bargain price of $14.99, which I believe that starts at the earlier time of $6.45. Could be wrong. Talking of BSN, they're streaming this meeting that we're talking you through right now for a bargain price of £12.99 Great British pence.
And we still don't know the gates exactly because my BSN decided to crash, but Tom Brennan is the rider replacement for Ipswich in Heat 1. Winchester has said that's most likely the Kesgrave Panthers. What a boy. See, always rely on Winchester to come up with some useful information.
Some useful information we will never ever use again in our lives. Thank you, Mr. Winchester.
It's always good to shout out the little people though on their cycle speedway bikes.
Well, it is. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I was playing cycle speedway in the local park. You know, put a plastic bottle in between the gap between the frame and the back wheel.
Those were the days.
Stomped on a can, so I felt like I had a steel shoe on. Oh, it was brilliant.
I never did that. I was never into speedway when I was a kid. Used to whack a plastic bottle in the wheel though, and there was this little like gravel path thing by my house, so I used to whack the brake on and try and get a slide on through the gravel with a bit of dust coming up. Reminded me of Oxford, the good old days.
Can confirm looking at that. Oxford are off gates 1 and 3.
Ipswich, mate.
Ipswich. Sorry, I talked about last night again.
We knew you'd trip up. Oh no, screwed it. There we go. Right, edit this bloody program quickly. I am so disorganised tonight.
While we've got disorganised Dills over there, I'll go down the lineup for heat number 1. Off the inside gate in the blue helmet colour, he's a good pal of mine, that's Adam Ellis. Off gate number 2 in the yellow helmet colour, that's the King, Kyle Howarth. Off gate number 3 in red, that's the guest, Tom Brennan. And Jack Alder goes off the outside gate in white. Track conditions, it looks like it's got some shale on with a little bit of water in it.
Looks grippy. Which apparently is how Ipswich like it.
Well, we might have a chance of just winning this meeting then, if that's how they like it. So, Start Bashlin walks away and Adam Ellis had a little bit of a nibble there, but yeah, red flags are out. Chris Gay on the buttons, and rightfully so, if you ask me.
I'd imagine that he'll get a warning for that. There's 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Adam Ellis jumping the star.
We can't go a meeting without a jump start, can we?
Yeah, that. Oh, yeah. He's so lucky not to touch them there.
He had a little nibble. Does someone want to go tell Adam there the tape's not a cheesecake?
And Adam Ellis does get a warning, as expected.
By that start thing.
Whatever that is. We will bring Alan in through points on the night.
Do we have to?
Oh, unfortunately so. But yeah, we don't. Back to the double header next week. We don't quite know which way that's going to go yet. You know, obviously me and you will be here. Alan will probably be here in some way, shape or form as well, and we'll probably just tag in, tag out, and take it in turns to swap commentary. Maybe you do comms from one and Alan does it from the other.
I might be better suited just doing comms from the pool meeting.
Yeah, and Alan can do yours, and I'll just do updates on the lineups and results from both. And if Mr. Callum's available, then we'll sort that out.
Get him involved.
We will be on some form of us will be on anyway.
So, Start Marshall then walks away for the rerun of heat number 1. That was a perfect start that time from Adam Ellis, who goes into the first bend with the lead, who's just pushed Jack Alder wide, and now Tom Brennan looking to come up the inside there of Jack Alder. So, perfect heat number 1 for Ipswich, as Tom Brennan now has the lead with Adam Ellis now in the second place position. Adam Ellis has now got to hold off the challenge of Jack Holder as Jack comes under Adam, but Adam defends him very, very well there. So, a current 5-1 heat advantage then to the Ipswich Witches. We're not too sure where Kyle Howarth's gone. I think he might have pulled up. He knows Ipswich isn't really one of his best tracks and he needs to keep himself fit for tomorrow. But at the current point of time, though, Tom Brennan showing why he was booked as the guest, riding like a Premiership standard, number 1, as well as Adam Ellis, obviously there in the second place position, doing a sterling job holding off the challenge of Jack Holder. So as I come round in the third and fourth bends of the final time, and it's a win in heat number 1 for Tom Brennan, Adam Ellis second, and Jack Holder in third.
Brilliant start there from the Witches pair. Adam Ellis did the hard work, sent Jack Alder wide. Tom Brennan came up the inside. Kyle Howarth gave up after the second turn, and that was all she wrote for Kyle. Good start for the Witches. Narrows the gap now to 16 points. Still a long way to go, but the dream start for the home team. And knowing Brennan, he doesn't like anything other than a win. He'll be absolutely buzzing with that. So the result of heat number 1, it was a win for the rider in red, Tom Brennan. Second in blue, Adam Ellis, and third in white, Jack Holder. 5-1 to the Witches, and the progressive aggregate score is now 40 points to Ipswich and 56 to Sheffield. And obviously the number that Sheffield are looking for is 90.
If Ipswich can overcome a 20-point deficit, Scunthorpe can overcome a 31-point deficit. The comeback's on. And yeah, I think just that, on that first bend, I think looking at that, Kyle probably shed a chain or injured a puncture or some form of mechanical failure.
This is an interesting rider here in red. Mr. James Pearson, be interesting to see how he goes in his first Premiership ride.
Likes rum and coke, so I'm sure he'll have one of them after the meeting. Who's sending me text messages now?
And a little bit of controversy in Heat 2 on Monday as well. Dan Thompson excluded for a tight first bend. Almost set the tone for Ipswich's night in a way.
You know, I'm still to watch it back. But obviously, from what you've told me from the BSN stream, from how I saw it, like the other end of the stadium, a little bit of differentiation there. Or as I like to say, our views were a bit different.
So, heat number 2, lining up off the inside gate in white for Sheffield is Jason Edwards. Gate 2 in red for Ipswich, it's the guest James Pearson. Gate 3 in yellow for Sheffield is Dan Gilks, and off the outside in blue is Dan Thompson.
If he gets his bike working.
And that's Gilks who's broke down, and the clock's got to be running out now. And again, potentially another drama in Heat 2.
What is it with these?
With these 17,
15
16.
Seconds.
He ain't making that.
He's not making that.
The spare's not going to be ready in time. Simon Stead is absolutely cacking his pants. No, absolutely not.
5,
3,
4, 3,
2,
2,
1,
and 1.
Don't matter that the bog's coming, mate. You got a bit of the tapes.
Tapes ready to race within the 2 minutes. But if anything, at least Dan and Peter Gilks are showing what goes underneath the bike covers.
And the only option that Sheffield have there is to put Gilksy off 15 metres, which means Dan Gilks will now move to gate number 3. As you can't go off 15 metres from the inside 2 gates.
That is very correct.
Craigie Hurl's watching. What a boy. Absolute legend of a man.
Big up, Craig. I hope we're doing all right, me old fruit. I hope to see you at Scunny tomorrow supporting your team.
and that bike's still not starting. It's just not having... There we go, he's working now. 15 metres for Gilksy. Josh Pickering having a stroll. 2 minutes. Should we bring Alan in quickly for an update from Leicester?
Oh, go on
See
then.
what's going on there. Al, you got about a minute and a half, I'd say.
Okay, well, I've got a quick update. Heat 1 took 2 attempts. Attempt number 1, Chris Harris and Richard Lawson had a bit of a crash. Both back up on their feet though, and Chris Harris, to no surprise of anyone, got excluded. And the rerun was a win for Max Frick, with Anders Rowe second and Richard Lawson third.
We'll bring you back in after they're just about to start Heat 2 at Ipswich.
Back to you anyway.
So then the start marshal walks away then for heat number 2. The riders look at the start line and the tapes rise away. We go. It's a very good start there. For the rider in white there, Jason Edwards, but the guy in blue there, Dan Thompson, just round the outside of Jason Edwards. And James Pearson's putting Edwards under some pressure there. That was quite a scary scary move. And now Jilk's underneath James Pearson there. So it's gone from an Ipswich 4-2 to a 3-all, and this is not what the Witches ordered, as Sheffield need another 36 race points. But Pearson's struggling on this kind of track. Maybe he's just used to the slicker sort of bigger tracks like your Glasgow's and tracks like that. But rider in hit blue here, Dan Thompson leading by pure example, and Jilks is catching up his red car and Sheffield teammate as we go into the final lap then of heat number 2. Dan Thompson's winning this one by an absolute canter. So it's going to be a win for Dan Thompson, and Jason Edwards in the second place.
Good race that. Dan did what he needed to do from the outside. James Pearson started really well, and then I think he realised he'd never seen this track before, and he was turning a lot sooner than I think he'll be used to.
Well, that'll be good experience for James if he is to pick up a Premiership spot for next season.
The result of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in blue, Dan Thompson, second in white, Jason Edwards, and third in yellow, Dan Gilks. That's points divided 3 apiece, makes it 8-4 on the night and 43-59 on aggregate. Craig Earls commented again saying he's drinking, it's his birthday, so he's going to be too drunk, and then he follows up with, don't bring Alan in.
Happy birthday, Craig, for today or tomorrow. We hope you have a very pleasant day as a friend of D&D Media.
We'll quickly bring Alan back in for the rest of whatever was going on at Leicester before we had to cut him short because they started the race.
Sorry, Craig.
Long story short, Chris Harris and Richard Lawson had a crash. And
you told us this. Tell us what you've not told us.
Well, I told you all about Heat 1.
Yes.
The only thing I've got Heat number 2 is that Craig Cook's now fell in Heat number 2.
Oh my life.
And Lambert fell down as well. Lambert's back up, and now Craig Cook's getting attended to by the medics.
No one's bothered about Cookie, but is Lambo okay?
Lambert up and walking back to the pits, that's all I've got.
Thank the Lord.
Leicester looked really strong coming into this playoffs, but Leicester depends on if Craig Cook can be arsed. Heat number 3, the lineup going off the inside gate in blue, winner of Heat 1, Tom Brennan. Gate 2 in white, Chris Holder. Gate 3 in red is Keenan Rue, and off the outside in yellow, Josh Pickering.
Can Pickle carry on his unbeaten run against the Ipswich Witches?
And while we look at this, Ipswich are back here, I think, next Monday, aren't they, when they host Leicester?
Yeah, they're back here on Monday against Leicester.
We would like to do Premiership watch-alongs for the playoffs, but obviously it's on Eurosport and Discovery. The method that we use to do watch-alongs with this, the screen share, doesn't actually work with Discovery. We can hear it, but we can't see it. We could always watch it on our own screen and try that, but then that depends if one of us is... Although I don't think it really matters, because I can just read the lineups off a spreadsheet and you can commentate as it happens on yours.
I'm sure we could sort something out. But anyway, heat number 3 is underway, and it is the Sheffield Tigers that go off to an absolute perfect start there with Pico out in front with Chris Holder now. But got a battle on with the riders in red and blue. And Keenan Rue, if he goes any further wide, he'd end up in the hot dog stand. But Tom Brennan going here from hero to zero, as it seems at the moment. Pico's away and gone, but it's Keenan Rue now in the second position. Tom Brennan's trying absolutely everything to get around Chris Holder there in the third place. We've got a couple of laps left, and he's done him nicely there, and Chris Holder's given up at the back. Chris Holder giving up at the back because someone's passed him. Not the first time he's done that. Oh my God, did I say that out loud? And Keenan Rue's not giving up the challenge of Josh Pickering just yet, to be fair. Although it's on current form, it's hard to bet against Pico at this point of time unless there's an engine breakdown, which going around the last couple of corners isn't going to happen.
And that was as you'd probably expect. Josh Pickering from the tapes has really worked on his gating for this season, and he's always been an entertaining rider to pass people, but he's now really added gating to his arsenal as well. Chris Holder there early on, and then I think a little bit like James Pearson, he just pooed himself a little bit, and the track does look tricky, it looks really grippy, it gives me vibes of a farmer's field.
According to some supporters of different clubs, Sheffield was a farmer's field on Monday.
The result of Heat 3 was a win for the rider in yellow, Josh Pickering, second in red, Keenan Rue, and third in blue, Tom Brennan. Makes the aggregate score 11 points to the score on the night 11-7, the aggregate score 46-62. That will settle the nerves for Sheffield after a difficult start, although they will be a little bit disappointed to have not capitalised on that 5-1 that they're trapped on.
Yeah, 100%, you know, but it's a starting point for the Witches at 5-1, and you know, obviously as we've seen, you know, Keenan Rue's obviously on good form, and having a reserve like Dan Thompson around this place is only going to help them out. So you know, it's not all over Tom and Ann start singing, and she's not queuing up Tom Jones anytime soon, or Barry Gibb for that matter.
The rider replacement in white is Kyle Howarth.
King Kyle?
He was a king in Heat 1, was he?
He's only a king when he's riding for that club in Lincolnshire.
The one he's riding for tomorrow against the Pirates.
Yeah, that one.
And Ipswich started well, but these couple of shared heats since, you know, it's not quite there yet, but there will come a point if this carries on where it's almost, you know, Ipswich need heat advantages and maximums really as well. We're not quite there yet, but they can't go too far.
I can't. I don't want to sound disrespectful here to the Witches, because I've got a lot of time for people there, and we are a decent club. It was all overcome sort of Heat 8 or Heat 9 on Monday.
So the lineup for heat number 4, going off the inside gate in blue, is Dan Thompson. Gate 2 in yellow, Dan Gilks. Gate 3 in red is Danny King, miraculously perfectly fine after last night. And off the outside in white, the rider replacement, Kyle Howarth, who will be looking for better fortunes than Heat 1.
It's great what some licorice all sorts, or also known as fake paracetamols, does to a rider, innit?
Is that what you took for your headache earlier?
No, I took B-Tech Cowpol.
Oh, Cowpol, strawberry.
Oh, this was an Asda's version, cherry flavour. It wasn't as nice as normal Cowpol. So start marshal walked away then. For heat number 4, and away we go. And Jesus Christ, Lord, Danny King's made a decent get and is in a scoring position around Ipswich. I never thought I'd see the day. And Dan Thompson holding off the challenge of Kyle Howarth there in second position. Dan Gilks towards the rear of the field. And I genuinely cannot believe what I am seeing. Danny King winning a race at Ipswich. It's almost like them magical licorice all sorts did him sort of world of wonders. But obviously, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Out could happen, you know. There's still 2 laps left to go in this race, but this 5-1 will be massive for the Witches. They need to keep getting these 5-1s and 4-2s to have any chance of clawing this gap back, and we've got 1 lap left to go. Danny King still has the lead over Dan Thompson there in second. Kyle Howarth sitting pretty there in the 3rd place, so he's going to pick up 20 pence for his back pocket for the way home. as they cross the line. Red, blue, white.
I'd be really interested to see that start again because it looked to me like both Danny King and Dan Thompson had a little bit of a roller. It's definitely Danny King did. But Sheffield were miles off after the second lap there. They just didn't look interested. And if Ipswich can do a bit more of this, could get a bit close in 3 or 4 races' time. The result of heat number 4 was a win for the rider in red, Danny King, second in blue, Dan Thompson, and third in white, Carl Howarth. Makes the score on the night 16 points to 18, and the aggregate score 51 points to 63. The gap is now down to 12. Really would be interested to see that start again, though. Oh, no
Hopefully
limping.
BSN can show it.
Here we go.
No limping. Here we go.
Danny definitely moves. I don't know about Dan. Danny definitely rolls.
I definitely didn't move, mate. I'm still sat on my bed. That angle just looks like a perfect start.
From the side-on one that we saw at the start, it looked like Danny was rolling.
I'd like to see a side-on one and another angle from the front. But BSN aren't nice enough to show us. But they are nice enough to show us a track to go in round the track.
Craig Earl's about to tune out again because we're going to bring Alan back in from Leicester.
Sorry, Craig.
I only have one update for you. Well, Craig Cook got excluded from heat number 2 as a cause of the stoppage. And heat 2 was won by Lewis Kerr. Simon Lambert got second place and Joe Thompson third. So a 5-1 to the Kings Lynn Stars makes the scores 5 to Leicester, 7 to Kings Lynn after 2. And apparently Craig Cook looks in some discomfort. So I would not be surprised if he's off to A&E soon.
Craig Cook come back from injury recently as well, didn't he? Because was it Kane that said he doesn't think he's quite fully fit in the big group chat we're all in?
I think so.
And,
but that'll be a miss for Workington at the weekend.
That's not what Leicester need.
That could strengthen Leicester, though.
Yeah, because they will have guest options, especially at home. There's a few riders that could come in and do a solid job there. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out.
At Little Etna.
Huh?
Please, Leicester, if you're listening, at Little Etna.
Nobody wants Jake Allen to have another chance. He's had enough.
If Jack Smith could have 982,000, surely Jake could have one more.
Jake doesn't go on social media bitching like a little girl, though.
No, there is that. He just puts his head down, does his job, and then goes and plays a bit of golf.
Everyone loves a game of golf. Shall we take a quick breather while Bartek Blair talks to Adam Ellis?
Go on then. So that was a very quick, just a little quick break while they did the track.
Oh,
the
but
tractor
it was
thing.
a nice quick break because of the interview.
Yeah. Thanks to BSN and my boy Adam Ellis for doing a bit of an interview there.
That's definitely not the one I was referring to.
Soz.
So heat number 6 is now coming to the tapes, and we got sorry,
Five
this is heat
mush.
5. Yeah, getting ahead of myself. No rider replacements in this one. 2 in the next one. Heat 6, the lineup going off the inside gate in yellow for Sheffield is Carl Heworth. Gate 2 in red, Keenan Rue. Gate 3 in white, Jack Holder. And off the outside in blue, Tom Brennan. Quick look over the stats. Gate 2 has been an absolute nightmare, and 1 and 3 are considerably better than 2 and 4.
Interesting, and so it sounds like Jack Holder could have the advantage, if you say, over the likes of Brennan. And I would expect Keenan Rue here to get a 3rd place minimum.
Gate 2 has scored a grand total of 0 points yet. Not a single point has come from Gate 2 according to my spreadsheet.
Same number of women I've slept with all year.
Right, let's see how this goes. Jack Holder will be looking to bounce back. Just wasn't at the races in the first one. Got beat up a little bit in the first turn, but didn't look overly arsed after that.
No, and if Jack's not in the mood, that could be a big downfall for the Tigers as the start match walks away. Then for heat number 5, it's a very good start there for Kyle Howarth in the yellow helmet colour there, with Keenan Rue now in just nipping up the inside to take the lead now. Great ride there from Keenan Rue. It's the Tigers boys in 2nd and 3rd, with Tom Brennan looking to put the challenge on the 2 Tigers boys as Tom now looks to go wide and Jack struggling with this one. Jack locked up there and Tom Brennan's got a little bit closer towards Jack now. What can Brennan do was, well, Holder nearly checks his teammate out there in the second lap, I believe it was. Brennan is there. Any mistake from Jack Holder again and Brennan will be through, but try as he might, it's just not happening at the minute for Tom after a great start in the opening heat. But you know, he's starting very quickly to get to that point now where Ipswich need heat advantages, and these 3-3s just aren't going to be enough. And that was one of them 3-3s.
That was a very sensible ride from Jack Holder and showed Tom Brennan enough of his back wheel in the second turn to just put Tom off a little bit. Heat 5, the first points of the night for Gate 2. It was a win for the rider in red, Keenan Rue. 2nd in yellow, Carl Heworth. And 3rd in white, Jack Holder. Keeps the score at 8 points gap on the night, and the aggregate score is 54 to Ipswich, 66 to Sheffield. And we've got 2 rider replacements in the next one. I'd imagine on this kind of form, Keenan Rue may well be one of them.
Yeah, Keenan Rue, and well, would you, if you were steady, would you want to get one of the Holders rider replacement rides out the way?
I don't expect the Holder boys to be this poor all night. I think he may hold off on that until later in the meeting. He may put Chris in with Jack in heat 13. It looks like that is Danny King in red.
Is Danny King.
And
How very exciting.
Like Jason Edwards is in yellow. Who is supposed to be anyway, so is that in white? That looks like Josh Pickering to me.
That's certainly Danny King, that's certainly Jason Edwards, that's certainly Adam Ellis. Where's the other one gone?
I think it's Josh Pickering because he's got the white helmet with the STS sticker on the front.
Well, we'll take your word for it.
I think it looks like it's trying to rain there as well. You can't tell with these lights. It's the old crappy bulbs that make it look yellow. None of this LED stuff at Ipswich. It is Josh Pickering, the rider.
It is Josh Pickering.
And there is
Yes.
rain forecast for Ipswich later on, so I can see why they're trying to get this through. That looks like a lot of material's been put on them starts.
Adam, if you're watching at the end of the meeting, can you just put it all in a bucket and send it up north to Scunthorpe?
So the lineup for heat number 6, going off the inside gate in red, the rider replacement, Danny King. Gate 2 in white, the rider replacement for Sheffield, Josh Pickering. Gate 3 in blue. Paid win first time out, Adam Ellis. And off the outside in yellow, a second place first time out as well, Jason Edwards. And you've got to say, Ipswich are in the box seat again here for this one with 1 and 3.
Yeah, can't disagree with that, me all through. So, yeah, just awaiting the start marshal to bring them into tapes. Nice of the start marshal to have a little walkie-talkie by his side.
A couple of weeks ago, we were enjoying Speedway in t-shirts and shorts, and now everyone's in jackets. And the season's changed very quickly.
I've dug my big coat out for tomorrow. So the start marshal up to wave 4, heat number 6, the tapes rise away. We go to brilliant start there for the rider with red, Danny King, and Jason Edwards made a half decent one there as well, to be fair. But it's the Tigers pairing in second and third with Danny King out in front. Now what can Adam Ellis do? Can he come up the inside here of Jason Edwards? Not quite as we go into the next lap. Danny King holding off the challenge of Josh Pickering, and Josh just locking up a little bit there on the back straight. But Ipswich need Adam Ellis to come to the party. Just tell him it's round at Mayo to be here in a shot. If someone wants to go tell Adam he's meant to score points, not pull wheelies, that would be greatly appreciated. Please, thanks, love you, Adam, and all that. But it's still the same at the moment. No Danny King out in front. Josh Pickering battling there for second, but the big battle's at third now. Adam Ellis looks to go wide. Edwards, just blocks the line. Really, really nice. Now Ellis tries again to go around the outside. Done him. Nice move there from Adam Ellis. This is sort of what Ipswich need. They could do with a few 5-1s as well to be chucked in there. King, I think King wins that.
That was tight on the line. I don't know who got that. I think King, you may have just held on. That's tight.
Think King got that, but I'd like to see the transponder board and the replay.
The outside line seems to be working. Adam Ellis probably left it a lap too late to go there. I think he could have put a bit of pressure on Josh Pickering if he'd have gone there a lap sooner, but eventually does get into third. Perfect start from Danny King, but I'd be interested to see that because that was very tight over the line.
King got it.
Heat 6, the result. It was a win for the rider in red, Danny King. Second in white, Josh Pickering. And third in blue, Adam Ellis. Opens up a 10-point lead on the night and closes the aggregate gap again by a couple to... Hang on, let me just update my scorecard. 58 points to 68. Danny King is really up for this.
Maybe that little off last night fired him up.
Yeah. Jason Edwards there had a really good start and just... He held off Adam Ellis long enough for Josh Pickering to get clear. You'd have expected Adam to have got past him in the end, but it took a very intelligent outside line switch, and the outside line is definitely working better than the inside.
Yeah, this is
that wasn't even close on the side view. It looked closer on the front view.
This is a completely different Danny King to what we saw on Monday. Just while we're up, I'll go through the individual scores at the minute. Ipswich, rider replacement at number 1. Adam Ellis 3 and 1. Keenan Roof 5. Tom Brennan 4 and 1. Danny King 6. James Pearson out. Dan Thompson 5 and 1 for Sheffield. Jack Alder 2 and 1. Kyle Hour 3. Chris Alder 0. Josh Pickering 5. Rider replacement for Woofenden. Jason Edwards 2. Dan Jokes 1 and 1.
And while Palmer catches his breath, while we've got a minute because Josh Pickering's got 2 on the spin, we'll bring in Alan from Leicester.
Lovely.
Well, we've got some drama down here at Leicester, I have to say.
Everyone loves a bit of drama.
Oh, I've got some drama for you.
Oh, here we go.
Heat number 3 was a win for Sam Masters. Second place was Luke Becker and Noric Bladon third. Niels Christian Everson retired on the first bend and decided to head back to the pits because he just wasn't feeling it. So a 5-1 to Leicester, makes the scores 10 to Leicester, 8 to Kings Lynn. Palmer, you're not going to like this. Heat number 4 was stopped in the first running. Ryan Douglas tried to go round Strawberry Jam, and Strawberry Jam put him through the fence. But Ryan Douglas was the one who was excluded from that heat.
Is that the drama?
Big up
That's
Strawberry
the drama.
Jam.
And Strawberry Jam won the rerun with Lewis Kerr in second and Joe Thompson in third for a reverse 5-1 to make the scores 11 to Leicester, 13 to Kings Lynn.
I thought you were going to tell us there was a scrap or something.
No, that was the drama.
I was kind of hoping you was going to tell us there was a scrap.
Everyone loves a speedway scrap.
Yeah, but Kavech putting Douglas in defence, that's surely quite exciting.
Depends whether you can only see so much through updates, Kai. It depends whether they got close and Dougie lifted or anything like that.
It just said he tried to go round him and Kavech was having none of it. Douglas came down on Ben too.
Only Alan would have bought us the stream.
Don't even know if there was a stream, is there?
Yeah, there was.
Stream, yeah.
Oh, if I'd thought of that, I'd have just bought the stream.
Bloody hell. Shocking. You can buy Glasgow tomorrow and Edinburgh and watch Glasgow lose tomorrow instead.
I'll watch them win. Anyway, back to you, gents.
They won't. The riders getting
I
ready
was
to come
very
out.
excited.
The riders getting ready to come out for Heat 7. A little bit of a delay with Josh Pickering having 2 on the bounce.
And Danny King.
Danny King tries to keep his unbeaten run alive here. James Pearson will be looking to bounce back after a difficult first ride. Did start well, but then went a little bit backwards.
Yeah, and I don't mean any disrespect to Jimmy P. I can't really see him troubling the scorers in this one. Not trying to say out about his ability or anything, just the other 3 are a bit better.
Well, it depends if Chris Holt can be arsed this time, I suppose.
Well, there is that.
He had absolutely no interest in his first one. So the lineup of heat number 7, going off the inside gate in white, is Chris Holder. Gate 2 in red, Danny King. Gate 3 in yellow, Josh Pickering. And off the outside in blue is James Pearson. This could potentially, if Chris Holder turns up, be a 5-1 to Sheffield. A heat advantage like that would take the wind out of Ipswich's sails and all but wrap up the cup here.
Well, it's one of them, innit? I mean, obviously, the Tigers only leading another 22 race points to clinch the title, and it could be 5 here. Although Danny King's on some form this evening,
but he's on
don't quite know where he's found it. But he's on gate 2.
He's on gate 2.
But Keeda Rue won heat 5 off gate 2 there as well.
Did not make the gate though. He had to make a smart pass exiting bend 2. Danny King has been trapping though.
So the start marshal walks away then for heat number 7. Danny King thinking the tips were joint, had a little bit of a roller there, but the ref has let that one go. And it is currently...
Oh!
That could have been carnage there. The Tigers on a 5-1 at the moment, and you can't see the Ipswich boys now troubling the Tigers here at this current point of time, barring any form of mechanical failure. Chris Holder has the lead. Just Pickering there in the second position. Danny King in third, and James Pearson struggling towards the rear of the field. And at this point now, if you're Ipswich, you just concentrate on just trying to win the meeting, and you sort of maybe thinking the cup's out of the hands. With 1 lap left to go, well, you never know. Actually, looking at the programme, Heat 8 could potentially be an Ipswich 5-1 to counter this one. But then in the second half of the meeting, Ipswich need 5-1s after 5-1 after 5-1. Chuck a 4-2 in there for good measure.
Be interesting to see if there's any acknowledgement between Kingy and Pickering here, because that was ruthless by Pickering.
It was. It was. I thought there was going to be carnage.
Yeah, and me. And just like that, Danny King goes from hero to 0.
Well, he got a point.
It was a little bit crap, weren't he? The result of heat number 7 was a win for the rider in white Chris Holder, second in yellow Josh Pickering, and third in red Danny King. Makes the scores on the night 24-18, and the aggregate score 59 points to 73, and just 17 points needed now for Sheffield to wrap it up. Good first turn that from Chris Holder. Smart cutback from Pickering. King a little bit stuck in no man's land, but I thought Danny King was going through the back straight fence there.
I think Kingy just kind of just locked up, didn't he? And almost give Pico nowhere to go.
Alan, has there been any updates from Leicestershire?
Let me double check for you, sir. Just give us 1 second. And I'm just
very unprepared.
I popped to grab some H2O. We have had one more heat here at Kings Lynn.
No, it's at Leicester, Mush.
Sorry, Leicester. And it was a win for Anders Rowe, with the man running British Speedway Chris Harrison second, and Sam Masters in third. So another 5-1 to the Kings Lynn Stars, makes the scores 12 to Leicester, 18 to Kings Lynn.
The wheels have really fallen off Leicester, haven't they?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've just about caught up with Monday's meeting from TV, and, you know, it's like what you said to me was coming back from Sheffield. The wheels are starting to roll off.
The wheels are falling off.
Josh Pickering, you can go away. She can stay on my screen all day long.
And on that note, we'll take a quick 5 minutes.
Just like that, we're back. Hallelujah. Hello, good evening. Hello, happy Thursday and Merry Christmas. So, coming up next is heat number 8, Mr. Dill.
Yeah, and the lineup for heat number 8 going off the inside gate in yellow is Dan Gilks, gate 2 in blue unbeaten from 2 rides so far, Dan Thompson, gate 3 in white Carl Howarth, and off the outside in red Adam Ellis. And Dan Thompson, unfavourable gate, but if he can trap like he has in his first 2, could get another win here.
And let's be honest, these two are probably this is the weakest pair in Sheffield have got. Oh, hello, Mr. Spider. So, start Marshall walks away then for heat number 8. Away we go. It's a very good start there for the two Sheffield boys. Just as I was saying, there was the Tigers' weak link. Thompson looking to come up the inside. Ellis looking to come around the outside. And Thompson's done Dan Jokes there nicely. Good move there from young Mr. Thompson. And now Ellis looking to do the same. So it's now currently gone from a Tigers 5-1 to a 3-all with Kyle Howarth. Now he's extending his lead out in front. Dan Thompson sitting there in his second position. The big battle for third was between Adam Ellis and Dan Jilks. Obviously teammates at Sheffield last season. They're not teammates this season. But Adam Ellis is now starting to pull away from Dan Jilks there in the third place position. Kyle Howarth, no one's catching him at the moment. We've got one lap left to go by on any form of mechanical failure. Kyle Howarth showing exactly why he is my real life number 5. And he's winning this one by an absolute canter, with Dan Thompson having a decent ride there in second place, looking after Adam in third, and Jilksy about half a mile behind.
Sheffield will be really happy with that. It's another 3 points closer. The result of heat number 8 was a win for the rider in white Carl Howarth. Second in blue Dan Thompson drops his first point of the night, and third in red Adam Ellis. Points divided 3 apiece makes it 27-21 on the night and 62-76 on aggregate. Also worth noting that tactical substitutes are not allowed in 2-legged competition, so although Ipswich are 6 ahead on the night, Sheffield can't play tactical. So it's all going to be done in programmed races and reserve changes.
Yeah, and you can't use tacticals in the knockout cup as it is anyway.
Yeah.
But then again, 2-legged ties in it. But yeah.
Good start from Kyle there.
Kyle made an absolute blinding start there. Witches would have been looking for a bit more than just a 3-all in that one, with Kyle and Jilksy being the two weakest riders in the Sheffield septet.
Adam Ellis hasn't looked overly impressive after Heat 1 though. He's picked up a point in his other 2 rides, but he's not being rapid.
It was the same in what did we watch on Sunday?
Richard Lawson's testimonial.
That's the one. He was the same in that, and I think I want to say it's Sheffield on Monday. I've filled my programme and put it away, so I don't really fancy going and getting it out. But I think Adam scored in every one of his rides, while not being overly brilliant.
Jack Holder is the rider replacement in white here for Sheffield.
How excited!
And the full lineup of heat number 9 going off the inside gate in white, the rider replacement Jack Holder. Gate 2 in blue is Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in yellow Jason Edwards, and off the outside in red Keenan Rue. On paper you fancy Ipswich here, but Tom Brennan's off that difficult gate 2. Keenan Rue will probably win this. He just looks up for it.
Jack will come to the party here, I think.
Since his injury, Keenan Rue's really been up for it. He wasn't overly spectacular, at least in the first half of the season. He has come to the party a little bit more in the second half since he was injured. But Leicester will be really worried about the combination of them being really crap in their meeting tonight and Dan Thompson dropping just 1 point at reserve, and he can take up to 7 rides as well, so that could make Monday very interesting.
Yeah, 100%. So the start marshal looks to walk away, and the apes rise, and I think there was a bit of a nibble there from the outside gate from Keenan Rue, but it's Tom Brennan that has the lead over Jack Holder, and Rue round the outside now. Beautiful move there from Keenan Rue. Now Tom Brennan's got to hold off the challenge of Jack Holder and Jason Edwards, but this is what the Witches ordered. Witches are going to need a few more of these as well. Don't mess it up, Tom. Don't mess it up, Keenan. And that'll just be the message from Rich Yorkers to the rest of his riders as well. The track looks really bumpy coming off them third and fourth bends, to be fair. But the Witches now, they're pulling ahead over Jack Holder and Jason Edwards, to be fair. Jack Holder really looking like a bit of a novice this afternoon, or this evening here at Ipswich Stadium. We've got one lap left to go then, and this gap's going to go down a little bit more as Keenan Rowe comes round bends 3 and 4 with Tom Brennan sitting there in his second position as they aim to take a nice little cheeky 5-1.
That was all done from the start. Tom snaked away from the start in his last two. He did it this race as well, but it hooked up for him nicely. Jack Holder looked a little bit desperate in third place, just not getting the speed he wants. I know he doesn't ride small tracks particularly well, obviously, as we both know he used to hate trips to Monmore as well, which is quite similar to Ipswich. So the result of Heat 9 was a win for the rider in red, Keenan Rowe, second in blue, Tom Brennan, and third in white, Jack Holder. Opens up the gap to 10 points on the night again and makes the aggregate score 67 to 77. Sheffield's still 13 points away with 6 races left to go. You'd expect it's pretty much maximums all the way now Ipswich need, otherwise Sheffield will wrap this up potentially before the interval.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if the Tigers get a 3-3 here in heat number 10,
it's all
which
but done.
Depending on who goes in for ride replacement, it's all but sorted, innit? I would not be surprised to see Keenan in Heat 10 not going off gate 4 like he's just won off in this one.
I'd expect to see that, to be honest.
But what do we know? Richie Hawkins is their team manager and he's a bit thick.
Depends. If there's a delay, then we know what's happening. And there is a delay by the looks of it, so I'd imagine it is going to be Keenan Rowe.
That or Chris just wanted to get his bike out on the stock car track. As you do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Ipswich have definitely taken to the dirt a little bit better than Sheffield have. Should we bring Alan
100%.
in quickly? Should we have a quick update from Mr. Allen, see what's going on at Leicestershire?
Craig, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
And if you're not, then ignore we said that.
Well, I'm going to say sorry to Mr. Palmer, because he's not going to like what I'm about to tell you.
Nah, nobody cares.
Oh no, he's not. He's not going to like this at all. Heat number 6 had another crash. However, unfortunately, Mr. Palmer, it didn't involve Strawberry Jam.
No!
Richard Lawson fell, and Strawberry Jam put the bike down to try and avoid him. Richard Lawson got excluded, and Strawberry Jam, after a look over from the paramedics, walked away from the crash. Luckily for you. And the race was won by Max Frick in the rerun, with Simon Lambert in second and Strawberry Jam in third, or Jankovic. That 3 each makes the scores 15 to the Leicester Lions, 21 to the Kings Lynn Stars after 6, and Max Frick is coming in for a tactical substitute in place of Craig Cook in heat number 7. I just wanted to put the frighteners on there about our your friend Mr. Strawberry Jam in
Can
heat
we
number
please
6.
call him by his proper name?
Sorry, Jankovic.
And a little difference between that meeting and this meeting. That's just a regular Premiership encounter, so tacticals can be used, unlike the playoffs on Monday.
And sort of a little question here, obviously, if Cook is out for the playoffs,
What do they do?
do Leicester, going off his form so far tonight, do they maybe look at seeing if Simon Lambert's up for it?
Possibly. There may be some better options out. I don't know what. I'm going to have a look what Cookie's average is. Has he withdrawn yet, Al, or has he just been replaced?
It just appears to be a tactical sub, but it did say he was in some discomfort, so
Could have withdrawn.
could be. I'm just going to double check the comments to see if there's anything.
So Craig Cook's average is 5
Yes.
withdrawn.
Craig Cook has withdrawn with a shoulder injury.
5.03. Now, I'd bargain I think the best rider available, close to that average, is Lewis Kerr on a 4.67. I'd argue that Lewis Kerr's a better option than Simon Lambert, with all due respect to Si, obviously.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Lions do, and we can confirm Keenan Rue is in red because we are geniuses.
The lineup for Heat 10, going off the inside gate in yellow, is Josh Pickering. Gate 2 in blue, Adam Ellis. Gate 3 in white, Chris Holder. And off the outside in red is Keenan Rue. Like you just said a few moments ago, Palmer, anything other than a heat advantage for Ipswich here, and it's, you can almost start to write their name on that trophy, I think, for Sheffield.
My nan can just press play on the Tom Jones CD.
Get the sex bomb ready.
Alan, stop getting excited.
It does
massive.
It does look like a farmer's field, them starts. It looks like they've just took the tatties out of the ground.
All tatties.
And a reminder, our next watch along will be Sunday for Glasgow and Oxfordshire.
Yeah, thought it will. That should be a decent meeting, to be fair.
Yeah.
A lot riding on the line for that one, for the wages, dependent how they go tomorrow, of course.
I know Workington get on Saturday.
On that. But here tonight, Heat 10, the start marshal walks away. Pickering has a bit of a nibble there at the start. The Tigers currently on a 5-1, but the race rightfully been stopped there.
I was looking at the outside there. The one rider I wasn't looking at was Josh Pickering, sorry.
Yeah, I think Pico had a bit of a nibble there, and if someone wants to tell him that's the tips and not a cheesecake, that'd be appreciated.
Yeah, he does have a nibble, yeah. Rightfully stopped, and he will be given a warning for that. And
That he will.
Now the nerves kicking in a bit, maybe. I don't see why they're within touching distance of the title. If anyone was expected to jump, it'd be the Ipswich riders.
But no, Pico thinks the tapes are a cheesecake. I hope he thinks they're a nice flavoured cheesecake.
Brennan cleaning his helmet out there, having a chin wag with Keenan.
You don't get that in any other sport, do you?
What?
Just, you guys just talking. I mean, like, obviously Tom Brennan's technically he's a Birmingham rider. And he's talking to, like, opposition of the league.
Yeah. And you see it of a race night, don't you? You see sort of, what's he moaning about?
And Simon Stead going on the phone saying that Pico didn't move, so referee Mr. Chris Gay, I believe it is today, saying, watch the replay, pal.
Yeah, Steady needs to focus more on watching instead of just standing in the pits with his head down like a boring, depressed old man. Rerun.
Justice for depressed old men.
Rerun of Heat 10, save 4 riders with a warning for the rider in yellow, Josh Pickering. I don't know why he needed to jump though, because Gate 1's been working really well. If anyone was going to jump there, it was going to be Adam Ellis. I'm shocked that Adam Ellis is in the race and he's not the one who's jumped this time.
My mate Adam's just a changed man, young man.
There's 3 riders you can always guarantee having a cheeky nibble. Adam Ellis, Jason Doyle and Matt Sayinovsky. They do love a cheeky nibble.
And Michael Palm-Toft.
Yeah, he likes cheeky nibble as well.
He likes a nibble or two.
I said to Sean Smith, his mechanic, the other night at Brum, I was like, your man likes a cheeky jump, doesn't he? You can always at least write one in for him.
Only one? I've been generous. So the tapes rise for Heat number 10, and again that was a very, very decent start there, but it's still, again, it's the Tigers that emerge in the first and second place there. That was untidy, that second turn. But if this keeps going on like it is, the Premiership Knockout Cup will virtually be in the hands of the Sheffield Tigers. I wonder what Guy Nichols thinks of all this.
He sponsors both teams, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll be rubbing his hands. He'll probably have bought the trophy, the medals, a lot. As well as obviously paid 90% of these wages. Did I just say that out loud? But yeah, going off this form, you know, this title's going to the Tigers, because after this they'll only need to get another 8 race points, I believe it is. But Chris Holder showing a liking for this circuit. It took his time, but yeah, he won that one.
And again, Adam Ellis, disappointing. I know it was off the difficult gate there, but absolutely nowhere to be found.
Yeah, the Witches would have expected a lot more from Adam in that one.
The result of Heat 10 was a win for the rider in white Chris Holder, second in yellow Josh Pickering, and third in red Keenan Rue. Closes the gap again 6 points at 33.27 on the night and 68.82 on aggregate. It is pretty much 5-1s across the board now, or the title's going home with Sheffield. Maybe before the big guns Heat 13, where there'll be 2 rider replacements.
Yeah, no, 5-1s all the way, and
It's literally 5-1s
Ipswich
across the board, and it could all be wrapped up in this next one.
Ipswich can get to 58, but it is very unlikely considering James Pearson has to have another ride.
Yeah, it's basically 5-1s. They need another 25 points from the last 5 races, which is essentially 5-1s across the board.
Well, it is.
So anything other than a 5-1 here for Ipswich and Sheffield will win it with 4 to go.
Yeah, the Witches left themselves with quite a hole to climb out of.
It was all won at Sheffield, weren't it?
It was.
Like you said, that Ipswich now will just want the win on the night and, you know, take some confidence into Monday's meeting against Leicester.
Yeah, that they will.
Oh, stream's dead.
Oh, yeah, it's the stream and not the laptop. Makes a change. Give me a moment, though. Just to be on the safe side. Nope, stream is dead.
Oh, lovely. BSN, put 50p in the meter, will ya? It's dead. Should we bring Alan in before... We don't know when he's going to come back. We might as well.
If it comes back.
If it comes back, yeah.
Oh, this is good.
It does worry me that they just want to do a double header on Wednesday and they can't even get one to work tonight.
If it's any consolation, Rob Peeslers have also gone.
Yeah, the stream's dead. BSN. They haven't had any of these issues for a while, to be honest. So this is a change. Right, Alan, bring us up to date, Mush.
I've only got more heat for you
Oh
from
my God.
Kings Lynn. It's taken a while.
It's from Leicester
Heat
still,
number
Mush.
7, which had the unfortunate incident.
What incident?
Oh no, it's not incident. Sorry, Max Frick taking the tactical. Sorry, I got my heats mixed up. And Max Frick went out and won that heat with Norik Bladorn in second and Niels Christian Everson in third.
Waste of
with
time,
Ryan
then, wasn't
Douglas
it?
at the back. A 3 each makes the scores 18 to the Leicester Lions, 24 to the Kings Lynn Stars after 7 heats. Oh, I've just had Heat 8 in as well, which was a win for Richard Lawson. Second place was Lewis Kerr, and Joe Thompson took third place over Anders Rowe.
What a boy.
So 4-2 to the Leicester Lions makes the scores 22 to Leicester, 26 to Kings Lynn. And that's all I have. Well, your stream has died.
R.I.P. in pieces.
Yeah, everybody's talking about this stream being dead.
I wonder what heat will come back in it. They've done that so that Ipswich can cheat their way to victory. Did I say that out loud?
Up the Witches.
Chris Harris is to blame. Well,
It's all his fault.
Everything's his fault.
Just ruins British Speedway.
And its network.
And
I
his
love Rob
network.
Peasley. I loved Rob Peasley's comment.
Yeah, I've just seen that. Shall we take a quick 5 minutes? Because there's sod all
Let's-
happening at the moment till it comes back
Let's-
on.
Let's take a quick minute, yeah.
Yeah.
We're back. And
so is BSN.
We've risen from the ashes, and so has the stream. We've only missed a Sheffield 5-1,
And their
which has
crowning
basically
moment.
crowned them the champion.
Simon Stead's got another reason to moan.
Simon Stead, morning. Never.
No, don't happen. And
Not much, anyway.
in the honourable words of Dan Palmer, BSN, sort your shit out.
We would also like to apologise for any language there that may have been
I
said
feel
that
like
offended you.
this moment
Stop
deserves
being a
that.
snowflake.
This moment deserves that. Why do you
It
pay
does.
to watch a meeting if you're going to lose it? And these want to do a double header. That's slightly worrying.
That's concerning, like, innit?
Do you want to go
Oh,
for
my
the
laptop's also
scorers?
gone dead. So, yeah, I'll do that very, very quickly. So, Jason Dorad replacement, Adam Ellis 4 and 2, Keenan Room 9, Tom Brennan 6 and 2, Danny King 8, James Pearson out, Dan Thompson 7 and 1, Jack Alder 6 and 1, Kyle Howarth 8 and 1, Chris Alder 6, Josh Pickering 9 and 2, Ty Hoffman and Ryder replacement, Jason Edward 2, Dan Jokes 1 and 1.
Sheffield's reserves are a real concern for the playoffs. Their top five's really good, their reserves are a massive concern though.
They're just...
And Dan Thompson going along like this, if the top five can get it together against Leicester, Ipswich could cause what would be considered a massive upset. I think it's fair to say the two favourites, Sheffield and Leicester, both in the opposite sides of the draw. That's the final we're expecting. Anything other than that would be an upset.
Well, it's like you said earlier, though. It's the wheels are starting to, potentially starting to fall off the Lions of Leicester.
And if this
interview,
if this interview doesn't give Steady a smile, absolutely nothing will.
He's got half a smile on his face.
After he stopped moaning at the referee. Should we find out if anything interesting's happened at Leicester while we've got Steady talking?
Alan, has that interesting happened in your life recently?
In my life, no. In this match, not
No.
much more. We've had one more heat here at Leicester.
As much as that?
As much as that, and you're not going to like this. Sam Masters won the heat with Luke Becker in second, and Jankovic in third, and Simon Lambert at the back. Another 5-1 to Leicester.
Creaming himself at Jankovic and Simon Lambert in the same heat.
I know. Same racing at 5-1. To make the scores 27 to the Leicester Lions, 27 to the Kings Lynn Stars. Palmer, how do you feel?
With his hands, the same as everyone else.
I'm going to go and cry myself to sleep now. Thanks, Al.
Wherever Jankovic rides next year, that is the team that Palmer will support in the Premiership.
Well, I have got the result of Heat 10 if you want it.
Yeah, may as well. We're just looking at Gate stats, mush.
Well, Max Frick won Heat number 10 with Niels Christian Everson in second and Richard Lawson in third. A 4-2 to Leicester means they take the lead for the first time tonight. And it makes the scores 31 to the Leicester Lions, 29 to the Kings Lynn Stars.
Stewart's probably gone in the pits and gave him a bollocking.
Yep.
Oh, very exciting.
We all know what Stuart Dixon's like.
We're now waiting to see who the injury
do.
replacement is for Craig Cook in the next one.
It's just rider replacement. Mush, only his reserve partner can take it.
Oh, I thought it would be injury.
If it's a reserve, you can't have any below, because there's only the other reserve below.
Oh, fair enough.
Rider replacement's one above and any below. Injury is just any below. And if it's Cookie who's last but one in the averages, then it can only be Joe Thompson.
Good luck, Joe. You're going to need it.
I've got an idea, Dill.
What's that then?
Shall we start a series very similar to what they had on Channel 4 called Educating Alan?
Oh, they're going to show us the race with me. They're very bloody generous.
How nice of them.
We know the result. Who wants to see what happened? Danny King has absolutely gone to SH1T.
Yeah, he's not very good either.
This is the Danny King we saw last night. Couldn't score a blowy in a brothel.
Neither could I at this point, to be fair.
Poor Alan. Queue him up. We've got jackets.
Alan just can't afford it.
And Sheffield have definitely got to grips with the track as it's slickened off. Which was always going to happen. Oh, Danny King was trying to put Carl Elf through the fence there. Trying to put him on Great Yarmouth Beach.
Well, I could do with a day out tomorrow.
No, stop off to Cleethorpes on the way to sunny Scunner.
Oh, why not? At a party, what is our weather looking like for tomorrow?
It might rain, it might be dry, it might be sunny. or it might snow,
Or it might do all at once.
or it might do all at once.
I know it's meant to be alright tomorrow.
You'll definitely be on. Can you check the red car weather for me? I want to watch that meeting, so hopefully they're on as well.
Well, I'm on the Met Office. I'll have a butcher's.
What a fella. The most reliable source for weather information, unlike the British Broadcasting Corporation's website.
Middlesbrough.
That's where red car is, me old fruit.
You'll be fine.
What's the weather like for Edinburgh? We all want to see Glasgow get smashed.
Dale West Lothian. Oh, that does. It's alright. I'll clears up by 11 o'clock. Then it's sunny all day.
I mean, the
Bit
Ouija's
of
lose out. The Ouija's lose out if it's not run. They won't meet their quota.
Bit of mist and fog till about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it
That'll
clears
be
up.
That'll be fun. Imagine if the Ouija's missed out on the playoffs by not running all of their fixtures. Heat number 12, the competition.
Oh, we're back on with this now.
The competition is done. Sheffield are knockout cup champions. The line-up going off the inside gate in red is Keenan Rue. Gate 2 in yellow, Jason Edwards. Gate 3 in blue is Dan Thompson. And off the outside in white, Chris Holder. Chris Holder's come to the party now. Two of Ipswich's higher scorers out here. Keenan Rue looked really impressive tonight, actually, and Dan Thompson's a massive trump card to have back at reserve.
Keenan Rue's been my rider of the night.
I don't think either of us saw this coming.
To be fair, for me, Ipswich has sort of exceeded expectations. No, I said to our pre-meeting, I'm expecting a 37-53 kind of score. So no, fair play to Ipswich. They've outdone themselves. So as the tapes rise now for heat number 12, the tapes rise, and it's a great start there for the rider in red, Keenan Rue, with Chris Holder looking to go up the inside, not quite worked out. Now, what could Edwards do? Could he force Dan Thompson into a mistake, or can he not? At the moment, he can't. And this, as much as it will virtually wrap the title up for Sheffield, they will still require one extra race point in the next race to mathematically be guaranteed it. Although Dan Thompson's putting Chris Holder under some pressure, and although to be fair to the Witches, it's got to be now 5-0 all the way.
Yeah.
And I can't really, possible, but can't really
It's
see
over.
that.
That won't happen. It's over.
Just like my relationships are over, just like that. Keenan Rue wins heat number 12 at a canter. Chris Holder second. Dan Thompson third.
Keenan Rue has been fantastic tonight.
He should be the first name on Ipswich's team sheet for next season.
Providing he wants to go back, come back, any of that. I think he will.
Yeah, of course.
Aussie's like British Speedway, I don't know.
Aussie's like British Speedway more than the Brits.
Yeah. The result of Heat 12 was a win for the rider in red, Keenan Rue. Second in white, Chris Holder. And third in blue, Dan Thompson. Makes the score on the night 38-34. Progressive score 73-89. And as a contest, it is now officially over.
Yeah, 100%. And congratulations to the Tigers. It's been a better team over 2 meetings. And to be fair, as we said earlier, it was all won at Sheffield on Monday.
If Ipswich could have kept it to a 10-point gap, I think they could have put some pressure. They could have really had Sheffield thinking, especially with the fact that Sheffield reserves are underperforming again, and Dan Thompson, 8 from 4. He's absolutely flying. I'd expect him to take a rider replacement ride somewhere down the line. I think he can have 13, can't he? Or I don't think they'll give it to Adam Ellis. They might as well give it Dan. He was putting Chris Holder under all sorts of pressure there.
Yeah, he was.
Adam Ellis is in red though.
Because logic.
I'd have given it to Dan if I'm being honest. Adam Ellis hasn't looked particularly good, it's fair to say.
Unless Dan didn't want this and
14.
and Heat 14.
Yeah, that's true.
providing obviously now it's over, they might give James Pearson the extra ride. Who knows?
I think they're still going to want to win on the night though, and you've got to
Build some.
expect Chris Holder's going to be the rider replacement in 13.
Yeah, Ipswich will definitely be looking to win this meeting on the night and hopefully take some confidence going into the playoffs, because I think this is the first meeting in 4 or 5 that they'll have won.
Well, they lost at home last week to the Brummies, and not many people have lost to them this year, so this was an important one to bounce back.
Yeah,
And the fact we've got a delay would suggest Chris Alder's doing 2 on the bounce. Al, quickly, anything from Leicestershire?
We have one heat update. Heat number 11 was Joe Thompson, to no surprise to anyone, took Craig Cook's ride in the blue helmet. And that heat was won by Ryan Douglas. Second place was Chris Harris and Anders Rowe in third. The 3 each makes the scores 34 to the Kings Lynn, to Leicester, 32 to the Kings Lynn Stars after 11 heats. And there'll now be a delay with Joe Thompson having 2 on the bounce.
how very exciting. So thanks to Alan for that lovely insight. And Bartosz Blair is now pointing at Dan Thompson's bike, saying that's the back wheel and it spins round and round and round.
Usually helps if it does. Dan Thompson's been a really busy boy tonight.
He has. He's certainly going to have earned his Mackies on the way home.
Oh, Mackey's, and he's got to go straight up to Edinburgh through the night to race for Edinburgh tomorrow. Along with Joe from Leicester. Because the Thompson boys are guesting for Edinburgh at Ben Barker and Max Perry guests for Glasgow. That's a meeting that we're not covering because you're at Scunthorpe.
Yes, that is correct. So if you are at Scunny tomorrow, come see me, buy me a pint. I will be forever grateful.
And to be fair, if you weren't at Scunny, we still wouldn't be covering it because we'd have been doing a red car in Oxford. Because it's just a better looking meeting. It's just the better looking meeting. So, Heat 13 now at the tapes, going off the inside gate in white is Jack Holder. Gate 2 in red, the rider replacement, Adam Ellis. Gate 3 in yellow, the rider replacement for Sheffield, Chris Holder. And off the outside in blue is Danny King. So 2 Grand Prix or former Grand Prix riders in Chris's case, a world champion, and 2 former British champions in this race. Just a little bit of experience.
Is it bad I forgot Chris Holder become a world champion until you said so?
It was 12 years ago, Mush.
Well, it was the same year Scunny won the league.
Blimey.
That's me showing me age, that now.
I wasn't even into Speedway then. I never found Speedway till 2013, first season 2014.
And look at you now, you've never looked back.
Well.
So, the tapes rise on heat number 13 then. And it's a very good start there for the Holder boys, for the Sheffield Tigers. Danny King, Adam Ellis, not really putting up much of a challenge there, to be fair to the Tigers. And this is more than going to seal the deal and steady it all square on the night, if things stay like this. But Chris Holder is that has the lead, and that track looks very, very bumpy coming off that second bend. Jack Holder goes a little bit wide there. Kingy tries to nip up the inside and just ends up going a little bit more backwards, because why not? And if it wasn't already certain prior to this heat will 125,084.5% win Sheffield the Knockout Cup, as we all expected it to. And just like that, Sheffield are the Knockout Cup champions.
I'll go back to
Yellow,
my point.
white, blue.
I'll go back to my point. Why was Adam Ellis in there? He's been embarrassing all night, and he was embarrassing there. I'd have just given the extra ride to Dan Thompson, who's looked more competitive. Adam Ellis has not come back from his injury well.
He's not had a good night, old Adam, has he?
He didn't have a very good night Monday either, did he, to be fair?
No.
And he was scoring really well prior to his injury, but he's just not come back from it well. And it's always the case, you don't know quite what you're going to get with concussion and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't know why he was in there, to be honest. And now that Sheffield have reached the magical 90-point mark, they're going to celebrate, but in truth it was wrapped up 3 races ago, realistically.
Yeah.
Danny King won his first 2 and looked so impressive, and he's just completely fell off a cliff since.
Simon Stead holding his hand in the air, and he still looks like a miserable old man.
And we're going to have a delay now while all these celebrate. Oh, God. Al, anything going on for you, Mush?
I'm last second ago when I checked there wasn't, because Joe Thompson was delaying the race. And it would appear that we still don't have a result of heat number 12.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep, fantastic.
Yeah, this woman here is walking quicker than Adam Ellis has gone tonight. Oh, love.
Go on, darling.
Go on, darling.
You know, I don't understand what it was in for. If anything, that's just dashed more confidence. Oh, God.
Does Adam have a tactical fall-off abroad at the weekend so he can't ride for Ipswich in the playoffs?
It'll be interesting to see if they do give James Pearson his 4th ride, although I don't think they will now that the meeting's tied up on the night as well at 39 apiece. Chris Holder's really got to this track after the first couple. Couldn't be arsed in his first one, but as it slickened off, he's really took to it, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's one of them, you know, everybody just prefers the slicker tracks nowadays. Unless you're James Jessup, then you just can't ride any form of track.
He did get a bit unlucky last week though, didn't he, with his bike just not starting.
I mean, the track was quite wet, but that's no excuse. JJ was just a bit crap, like normal, to be fair.
It's quite ironic the Holder boys were the 2 to wrap it up for Sheffield as well. There's a level of irony there.
In it?
And I think it's fair to say that will be the top 2 pairing for Ipswich, for Sheffield, next year if they do want to come back.
You would expect so.
And Dan Thompson is in blue here. I don't think James Pearson's done a lot wrong, to be honest. His first meeting in the Premiership, his first time at this track, to come in a cup final with it all to do, it's a difficult thing to do.
It was never going to be easy, was it?
The line-up of Heat 14, a reserve change going off the inside in blue is Dan Thompson. At gate 2 in white, Josh Pickering. At gate 3 in red is Tom Brennan. And off the outside in yellow, Dan Gilks. Sheffield's night, the only downside again to Sheffield's night, as we've mentioned, the reserves not quite firing. And against Bellevue, they're really going to need to be.
They're...
Oh, it's against Leicester, isn't it? Yeah, Sheffield have got Bellevue, haven't they?
Yeah, Sheffield have got Bellevue, so yeah, the Tigers boys really need to be on it in that one.
And as happy as Sheffield are to win this isn't the one, is it?
It's
just
this
the
isn't the one.
Cup.
But tapes rise then on heat number 14.
What a gate!
And probably to the surprise of absolutely no one, it is the 2 Ipswich boys that are out there in front. Pico lucky to come round the outside there of Dan Thompson, and it's currently still just about the Witches on a 5-1, but Pico's done Dan Thompson there nicely. So, well, what can Dan Thompson do? Can he put more pressure on Pico, or shall he just salvage 3rd place? Tom Brennan, though, looking like a world-class rider out there in front. The battle's still on now for second, actually. Thompson's still having a go. Jilks is at the back because that's where Jilksy tends to be nowadays. But, yeah, Brennan riding like an absolute world-class rider there out front. Pickles starting to close the gap a little bit, but one lap left to go then for the heat number 14. And, yeah, Tom Brennan really doing the business there out front. He looks fast, he looks stylish. And just like that, he's won heat number 14.
Pico is so exciting to watch.
He's great, isn't he?
He's so... that's one of them races. He missed the gate by a mile and then he's straight round Dan Thompson, got it in the dirt and just straight round the outside of him. In full flow, Josh Pickering is so exciting.
He is great to watch.
And I think we can pretty much write in Tom Brennan and Keenan Rue for the Ipswich pairing for 15.
Yeah.
The result of Heat 14, though, was a win for the rider in red, Tom Brennan. Second in white, Josh Pickering. And third in blue, Dan Thompson. Dan Jilks was at the back, makes it 43-41. Nobody cares about the aggregate because it's over. So it's all to play for on the night. And I believe if it's a draw on the night, there's not a super heat because it's not deciding the cup. So if it is a draw, that's what it ends as.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Because what is the point?
Yeah, there doesn't need to be a super. It does. It's just a waste of time. But I think that's the way it goes. Brilliant game from the Ipswich. Well, the Ipswich and Ipswich guest. Both made a sublime start. Dan maybe could have gone a touch wider to block Pico, but Pico was like a steaming train straight around the outside of him. Jilksy was never in the race, was he? To be honest.
No.
Brennan was gone. Did it all from the start. And Pico had some speed in that bike, and now it's slickened off. It's a Josh Pickering track. But Tom just rode a smart race, and that's what he's done all year. He's gated and just rode a smart race.
And I mean, if I was Nigel Tolley, I'd be putting a couple of extra knots on Tom Brennan's contract for next year.
And I'd be getting it signed as soon as possible, so I can bet Ipswich will come knocking.
I could see Ipswich just shoving a contract in his face very soon.
Hot take, I think Tom Brennan comes back to Birmingham next year. Al, anything going on at Leicestershire?
I'll let you. You can use your crystal ball and tell me because I have nothing.
No.
How very exciting!
Try the BSM website, see if it's just updates. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, I'm on the BS. I've got it opened in a second tab, and there's nothing.
Jeez, it could be their interval. I think they have an interval after Heat 11.
That's what I'm thinking.
That would make sense.
But we won't be keeping this stream going to find out what happens there. As soon as 15 here is done, we'll wrap it up for tonight, because nobody really cares what's going on at Leicester. It's just a meeting because it needed to be run.
Not unless you've got graphics to do straight after the meeting.
And some form of, I think it'll be me and you on Sunday. I don't think Alan's available, is I think it's me and you again Sunday, Palmer, to watch Glasgow and Oxford, and then next Wednesday it'll be some form of me, Palmer and Alan, or me, Palmer, Alan and Callum.
Me, Hodgetts, Alan and Callum, the awesome foursome you never knew you needed.
The Incredibles of Speedway.
Yes. Giving the people.
We often say that Alan's incredible.
You should make an apology now to Craig Huddle.
No, Craig, I won't watch that on a Sunday.
He'll watch Sunday.
He'll be out for his dinner or something.
I mean the Wednesday one.
Nah, he'll be there. It's at Pool Mush. And the meetings are at Poole and Oxford, with the second leg of Oxford and Scunny being 2 nights later on the Friday at the Eddie Wright, ain't it, Palmer?
Yeah, it is.
Which, for obvious reasons, we won't have a watch along to, because Palmer will be there.
Maybe.
Might turn up, I suppose.
If he's not at Redcar.
He won't be at Redcar. Redcar are done by then, isn't they?
As far as I'm aware, Redcar's last meeting at home is Friday.
Yeah.
Unless they beat Oxford. There are talks at Redcar of having the silver helmet.
They do, yeah. It's always a good meeting, that, isn't it?
Oh, mate, I love going to the silver helmet meeting. It was last time I went to it. It was a very good encounter.
And
The second one of
they've also got the Championship Riders Championship a week from Sunday, I
week
think.
on Sunday. Yeah, I will be there. So
Again, there'll be no watch along to that.
if you see me there, buy me a bottle of Nuki Brown, and I will, I don't know, give you a cuddle or something.
Richie Hawkins never smiles, does he? It's a battle of the miserable gits, these two.
You wouldn't have thought one of them's just won a trophy, would you?
No, and it is strange to see two team managers wearing like clothing and hats with the same title sponsor on.
You wouldn't get this in any other
wouldn't.
sport,
You
would you?
absolutely wouldn't.
So just awaiting the inevitable picks for 8:15, which, let's be realistic, are going to be Tom Brennan, Keenan Rue, Jason Edwards, and Dan Jilks.
Holder boys again, maybe or Chris Holder and Joshy Pickering. Sheffield are going to want to win on the night, aren't they? But then, how much do you want to win on the night? Josh Pickering's in yellow.
Pickering's
Keenan
in yellow.
Rue's in blue. Kyle Howarth is in white. And it's going to be Tom Brennan in red, surely to God. And it is Tom Brennan in red. So the lineup for Heat 15, going off the inside gate in white for Sheffield, is Kyle Howarth. Gate 2 in red for Ipswich is Tom Brennan. Gate 3 in yellow for Sheffield is Josh Pickering. And off the outside in blue is Keenan Rue. Josh Pickering off the outside, like the wider of the two gates for Sheffield, is a very exciting prospect.
He is.
And Tom being sacrificed off the unfavourable gate 2, although it's not too far behind 4. 1 and 3 have been clear favourites, with both 1 and 3 scoring mid-20s for points, 2 and 4 scoring 18 and 15.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here in Heat 15. You know, obviously both teams are going to want to win the meeting. Yeah, one last race
on the
to
spot,
go
Palmer,
for tonight.
Who wins the meeting on the spot?
Ipswich.
Sheffield.
So away we go then, Heat 15. It's a very good start for the Tigers, proving Dylan right at the current point of time. Brennan lucky to come up the inside, but Keenan Rue there in blue getting round Pickering, not Pickering, that's Kyle Howarth. I don't even know my own bloody rider here. But Rue underneath Kyle Howarth here to make it a 4-2, which would take it to a 45-all draw. Tom Brennan looking to come up the inside there of Kyle Howarth. Kyle just holding the right line now, where Brennan looks to come round the outside here. And what can Tom Brennan do now as we... Howarth now looks to come up the inside there of Keenan Rue, and he does so nicely, but Rue nicely repays the compliment, does he? Yes, he does. Nice move there from Keenan Rue. Brennan's not a million miles off behind Howarth. If Howarth was to make a slight mistake, then Brennan would be there. But Pico's away and gone. He could go check out by himself a nice bottle of champagne from the shop across the road. But it's gonna be a draw.
And we'll both win there. Good race to finish on that.
Yeah.
Tom paid the price for a bad start.
Overall, it was an enjoyable meeting.
I really enjoyed that. Track was a bit difficult to start with, but it's definitely provided racing once it got slick.
Oh, 100%.
And very quickly, do you want me to run through the scorers? Because I've got a programme that decides to add them up for you.
Well, if you can.
For Ipswich, 45 points. It was rider replacement at number 1 for Jason Doyle. Adam Ellis 4+2 from 5. Keenan Rue 14 from 6. Tom Brennan 9+2 from 6. Danny King 9 from 5. James Pearson failed to score from 3. And Dan Thompson 9+1 from 5. For the Sheffield Tigers, also 45, Jack Holder 8 plus 2 from 5, Carl Howarth 9 plus 1 from 6, Chris Holder 11 from 5, Josh Pickering 14 plus 2 from 6, rider replacement for Ty Wolfenden at number 5, Jason Edwards 2 from 4, and Dan Gilks 1 plus 1 from 4. Makes the aggregate score 80 points to Ipswich and 100 to Sheffield. So it literally was all done in the first meeting.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, everything was done on Monday. Sheffield was very, very dominant on the night there, and congratulations to the Tigers. I think everybody pretty much knew since Doyley wasn't here and Emil, Ipswich were almost written out because they're basically a championship standard team.
Should we have one quick swap to Alan? We won't stick around for the presentation because this, let's be honest, this isn't the one that we're interested in seeing.
Nobody wants to see. Well, actually, some of us do want to see Kyle Howarth lifting a trophy, just not tonight.
Well, I have 2 heat updates quickly. I have 3. Be right? No, 2. Sorry, 2. Niels Christian Everson won heat number 12 with Sam Masters in second and Simon Lambert in third. A 2-4 to the Kings Lynn Stars makes the scores 36 to Leicester, 36 to Kings Lynn. Heat number 13 was won by Max Frick with Chris Harris in second, Ryan Douglas in third, and Jankovic at the back. A 4-2 to Leicester makes the scores 40 to Leicester, 38 to Kings Lynn with 2 to go.
And,
How very exciting.
Just a quick reminder then, our next watch along, if everything goes to plan, because Palmer's at Scunny on Sunday, but hopefully he'll be home in time and we can do the watch along to Oxford and Glasgow and Oxford at Ashfield on Sunday evening.
Yeah, that is definitely the plan.
And then the next confirmed 100% set in stone watch along is next Wednesday doubleheader if something were to go tits up.
If
and we couldn't do Sunday.
BSN cameras decide to actually work.
Yeah, and all the Ipswich boys congratulating the Sheffield boys, and I think this is a good time for Palmer to outro us.
So, thanks for your company this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us on this fine Thursday evening. Enjoy your weekend, and all being well, we'll see you on Sunday. Don't forget, if you're in the comments, bring cake.